Hey everybody, Derek, Children's Pastor at Lakewood Christian Center. I want to teach you how to do the good versus evil trick that Dodo did. What you need to do this trick, a Jesus silk, anything that represents Jesus, some kind of thing that represents Jesus that will fit into your box, which I'll show you in a minute. A Satan silk, so or you could have a good silk and an evil silk, make it real simple. Then you need a red silk to represent the blood of Jesus, and a wonderful little thumb tip. So, now, the box. You need this special box. And the way this box works is when you look into it, it's empty. When you close it, it's not. It's magic. Alright, so what it is this side looks fine, but if I were to turn this around and show it to you this way, you'd realize how this trick works. Basically, there is a separate box on the door of the front panel. So when this is closed, this is the front panel facing towards the audience. When you open this, this actually stays exactly where it is. See, it opens, and so this is still hidden back here. Okay? So let me give you a little better close-up view. You've got your box. And then this is another box. There's a bottom on it, on the panel. And if you open the box, get this open. There's a little. You open the box, you can see that you can put anything in here. Anything you put in here, you won't be able to see when you open the box. So you can make this fairly simply, without too much fuss or hustle or bustle. Anyway, so to set up the trick, what you want to do is take your Jesus or your good silk, and you're going to put it into the box, not inside the extra panel, but just into the box, like so. Then you close the box. Now mine tends to try to open because of the silk inside. So what I do is I set it down with that side down. So that does two things. It lets me know where that panel is, as well as keeps it from opening. This silk is open. What Dodo did for the video was he had it in the sleeve and he pulled it out of the sleeve. Then this one was in his pocket. He just pulled it out. So what you do is you introduce the Satan silk, talk about that, and then you open the box. You pick up the box and you want to make sure that this end is up, and you want to make sure when you pick it up it doesn't open like that, because that would be bad. So you open your top, and you want to make sure when the Jesus silk is in here, it's probably a good idea to open the top before you do the trick so you can shove this all down and make sure that it's not going to poke out when you try and do the trick. That also keeps you from being able to access the extra box inside. So you open up the top of the box, and you don't want to tilt it down or anything like that. Just open it up, and you're going to take the evil silk, and you're going to push it in and do it fairly naturally, but you're pushing it into that extra hole on the side panel. And you want to get it in there good so that it's not poking out. Same thing before. You don't want to open it up and have this silk just poking out of the side of the top. So then you close this. And I lay it down again with the side that has the panel down. And then you pull out the other silk. And this is a standard silk vanish with a thumb tip. So you just have your thumb tip on. You know the special tips for a thumb tip. You don't really want to do this, because that obviously looks wrong. You want to keep your hands apart, and a smart thing to do is point your thumbs toward the audience. So kind of this motion when you show your hands empty. Alright, so to do this, I always use the silk as kind of a cover for the thumb tip. So you're like this. My thumb tip's here. And as I come up, that's when I usually put my thumb tip into my hand. So what I'm doing here is the thumb tip is on my finger, and as the silk comes up, I come down and I take my thumb and I put it into my hand like this as the silk comes over. So with the silk in my hand, it looks a little like this. It looks like I'm about to start putting the silk in, but what I've really done is I've loaded the thumb tip into my hand. So it's like I'm going to start the silk, but I'm putting the thumb tip in. Okay. So you got your thumb tip in your hand, and then you start loading this into it. Look, to the audience, you're putting this, you're just shoving it in your hand. So what you want to do is use different fingers as you do it, because this sells the idea that you're going to finish on your thumb. Okay? If you were to come over here and push, 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 and then at the end go, that would be terrible right there. Okay. Put your thumb in and then open. That's not as impressive. But if you're already kind of using this finger, this finger, this finger, this finger, this finger, it kind of looks a little natural when your thumb's the last one. And what I do is I wait a second. I put my thumb in, and then you can kind of pull the thumb out if you want to, or you can just, you know, open it. And you see when I'm showing my hand, I'm not doing this or like this. It's more of a out, turn, thumbs toward the audience, empty hands. Alright? And of course you don't want to do what Ben Stiller did in Night of the Museum, where it's like that. That's bad. Alright. So, you get that to disappear, and what we did for this trick is, as it disappeared, you go to the box, and it soaks into the box. And as you did that, I brought the box up and dropped the thumb tip into a pocket. Okay, so they kind of look at the box. And then you're going to open this up. And you open it up the same way I showed you before. You want to make sure that the box end, which is this side, stays on the front so that this twists. And now it's full of something. Most people can tell that's a different color silk. No, it's not going to be a big deal. But you see it and you're like, oh, that's a different silk. And what we did when we were on stage, had a kid come up and pulled the silk out of the front. You don't want to have them reach behind or look to the side. You just want to have them come up and pull the silk out like that. And of course you can do it like I just did it, where you just kind of put it against your belly and pull it out, so then you keep this as it is hidden from view. And what I said before, if this were sticking up out of the box even a little bit, it could be down, and as I open it, which it stayed, which is good, but it could do this, and that would not look good. So you want it to make sure that goes down to where it stays down. And then you just shut it. You shut it the same way. You got to open like this. You keep this to the front side and shut it like so. And don't really bring any attention to it. You're done. Jesus is the reason for the season. So anyway, enjoy it, guys. See you next time.